This may be the cutest Marin that you have never heard of. Hey everybody, welcome back to Figure Friday. Today we're going to be taking a look at JM Studios' Succubus Marin from My Dress Up Darling. Let's dive right into the review. Starting right off, this is a resin statue and she's 1/6 scale. And with the sitting pose, she actually looks extra small compared to all the other scaled figures that I've got. I don't actually keep her with the rest of the collection. She actually goes out on the bookshelf with my Dress Up Darling manga. So I think she pairs really nicely with the actual manga on the shelf. Now she is wearing the Succubus cosplay, which is arguably the most popular one from the show. I think you probably see more figures and statues of the Succubus cosplay than any other one out there, even the regular Marin almost. I feel like this is probably more popular. As I mentioned, this is a 1/6 scale statue, but she only measures about 15 centimeters tall. She is resin, so technically she's a statue rather than a figure. She's not made of PVC, but with how little she is and how little she weighs, I wouldn't worry about her on any shelf. You can put her on a detolf, you can put her on whatever, she will be just fine. Now at the beginning I said this is the cutest Marin statue that you have never heard of, because I don't think I saw this marketed anywhere. When this went up for pre-order, I got mine off of Fanatic Anime Store for right under $300, I believe. But I think that was like one of the only sites that I saw it on. Maybe you could probably find it again now, but when I looked it up on Google, it was on some not as reputable sites or sites that I had never heard of that I wouldn't take a chance on. So you might be able to find it on eBay, but if you're wanting this one, you may have missed the boat because I don't know how many were made. I think it was pretty limited. Okay, now let's take a look at the pose for this one. She is doing this sort of like leaning sit pose where her arm is resting on a pillow, and the base that she comes on is actually like a piece of fur, which is very reminiscent of like a bed or a throw blanket. I think it fits the vibe of the anime really well. Now this may be a really small statue, but it doesn't mean that the details aren't there. JM Studios did a really good job capturing a lot of the details from the show, and even some of the small stuff. A lot of strands in her hair, her tiny nails, the really thin tail, all of those things look really nicely sculpted on this statue. I think her proportions are excellent. Nothing is too big or too small. She's got a lot of detail in the wrinkles of her shirt and the frills and fluff of her clothes. Her ears and horns are really cute, and her face is also really well done. Now the pillow that she's leaning on is sculpted as well, and I think they did a really good job with this because it does look soft, but it is just one hard chunk of resin. Speaking of soft though, she is sitting on this carpet base. Now it is just a piece of fabric, there's no underbase to it, so you gotta be careful when you're moving it around. There's nothing strong supporting her other than whatever you're setting her on top of. This statue did come with two different options. There is the one you see here, and then there's the lewd version as well, but they are separate completely, so you have to pick beforehand which one you want. There was no option to get both together as like a deluxe bundle. Also, this is not a cast-off statue, so make sure you know that going in. Now, assembly on the statue was pretty easy. Some of the pieces were fitting tightly or a little bit small, so I try not to take her apart if I don't have to. Hey, if you guys are enjoying this video so far, don't forget to drop a like down below. It is completely free and helps the channel way more than you may think. Now, the paint on this statue is what really brings it to life. Her skin color has a lot of dimension and it looks really soft. The reds in her hair are very vibrant and there's a lot of contrasting between light and darks. There is gloss black in things like the horns and the tail, which contrast really nicely to the rest of the statue. And the color in her wings pops really well without being obnoxious. Now she does have bright green eye decals, but they fit really nicely with this face sculpt. All right, now no statue is perfect, so let's talk about the things that I do not like about this statue. I think the prototype face did come out better than the actual production one. It does happen sometimes, it's not drastic, but be wary if you're looking at the pictures online. I do think they look better than in person. Secondly, this thing should definitely come with an underbase. The base that you get is just literally a piece of cut furry fabric. There's no solidarity to it at all. You're setting her on top of a piece of fabric and whatever she's sitting on is the support. It should have come with an underbase, even a thin black one, an acrylic one, something that you could actually move the statue around with her on, and also maybe peg her into the base a little bit, because right now she's just sitting on top of the fabric, kind of free floating. Now, if I had a wish list of this statue, aside from the things that I talked about in the dislikes, I think it would be cute if she came with like a little plushy Gojo or something alongside as like a little side ornament. I think that would add a little bit more to the statue. And of course, if I had to choose, I would make this a 1/4 scale statue rather than a 1/6 scale. I personally prefer the 1/4 scales, and I think it would have looked better just in a bigger size. All right, everybody, thanks for hanging out for the review. Now here is what you came for. Here's some cinematic shots of JM Studios Marin. All right, I appreciate you guys watching the review today. As I said, I really like this statue. I think she fits really nicely out on the bookshelf next to the manga. If you guys are looking to get any statues for yourself in the future, please use my affiliate links down below. It gives a little bit of a kickback to the channel, and it doesn't add any additional cost to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video, consider subscribing. I'll see you guys next week.